I was sprayed with steam, threatened with flames, deluged with sand, and had glass thrown in my face.
What was this film?
This film was called The Bride, and it featured Mr. Sting, a charming man, very, very courteous, very nice.
Is there anyone you've always wanted to meet?
Not really. I feel ashamed of that. I ought to want to meet. I like everybody, so that I think that means that my desire to meet a person has been spread over the whole world. But, no, I can't say I've ever thought when someone's name is mentioned or when their photograph appears, I don't think I've ever thought, oh, if only I could meet them. Because this idea of the joy of meeting stars doesn't really have any reality. If you could meet Marlene Dietrich herself, you could say, it's a great honor, Miss Dietrich, to meet you. I have seen all your movies. And she could say, thank you. And that would be the end of that. You happen to have the house next door before the day comes when you can say, how did you come to be Marlene Dietrich?
Mm-hmm. Well then, is there anyone, let's say you had to be stranded on a desert island, and you had to have company. Who would you choose for your companion?
No one I can think of, but I would need someone very resourceful, because I couldn't do anything. I would die in the first week.
Well, to make it a more realistic question, let's say you had to take a transatlantic voyage on an ocean liner and had to share a stateroom with someone. Maybe that's a bit more...
I don't think I would really mind. There again, there's almost nobody of whom I think, I hope I never get stuck with them. So that almost anyone would do. I prefer the society of women. So if I had to have a companion, it would be a woman, because women are cozier, quieter, friendlier, and they like to talk. So that's why I prefer the society of women. But I don't know that it would matter who.
Do you ever think how your life would have been different if you had been born at a time more tolerant of homosexuality?
I think my personality would have been different. I would have been less shrill than I am. I would have been nicer, cozier, better behaved, and all those things, because my life would not have been one long protest. But otherwise, I don't know that it would have been all that different. I've got by. I've done the work people found for me, never well, but I've done it. And after all, I've arrived in America. I mean, very late in the day, but I have got here.
Have you gone ahead with your plans to become an American citizen?
Well, I haven't gone any further. I am now only a twilight American, because I've reached an age when I couldn't learn all you have to know. Or to be more accurate, I couldn't remember it. You could teach me before dawn everything I would need to know at the interview, but by Monday I would have forgotten it. As you grow older, you can't remember immediately. You remember the names of people you were in school with, but you can't remember how it happened yesterday.
Right.
So that I think now I'll have to stay in the twilight.
You lived your formative years with the knowledge that you were likely to be harassed or arrested at any time. Do you ever lose that expectation, that sense that around the corner there's always lurking something?
You never lose it in England. Here you are, perhaps falsely, lulled into a feeling that it will be all right, because people are so cozy here. I mean, even the police are cozy in New York. They drive their cars at walking pace beside you, and if you're foolish enough to look toward them, they beckon you. And when you go over, they ask your name, and I tell them my name, and I say, am I illegal? And they say, no, we just wondered how the show was going. Well, an English policeman is never going to ask you how the show is going.
That's wonderful. You once lived in Southern California for a while, which is where this program is heard. Now, what did you think of it?
I lived in Los Angeles for 3 months to work at Mr. Solari's theater, which I think has been pulled down or turned into a car park or something. And I was there for 3 months, and I loved working there, because as you look down into the audience, everybody is a movie star. I mean, that's quite extraordinary, to be walking up and down saying what you think in front of a lot of movie actors is quite amazing, and they're very generous. They do applaud, they do appear to want you to succeed. I loved Los Angeles altogether. It's really only New York lying down, which everybody is beautiful and everybody is rich. All the women are actresses and all the men are lawyers.
If, as is sometimes claimed, when one dies, one's whole life goes flashing before one's eyes like a Technicolor movie, which scenes are you most looking forward to seeing again?
Oh, I don't know about that. My life has been much more pleasant in the last. I've lived in America now for 8 years. My life has been much more pleasant recently. When I look back over my life, mostly I feel embarrassed. And so we can say the bits that we hope won't flash before my eyes as I die will be those bits which I expect are in everybody's life. When you make a fool of yourself, you stay in somebody's house much too long, and when you get home you think, they were waiting for me to go and I didn't realize it, or you ring up people much too often, or whatever. Those are the bits that when I look back, I either think, oh, I shouldn't have done this or that, or else I think, I could have done more. When someone's name is mentioned, I'm sure this happens to a lot of people, you think, oh yes, I could have been nicer, I could have let him stay longer, I could have lent him another $1, I could have written him another reference for a job I know he can't do, I could have laughed at his jokes and not said, I've heard this before. There's always more you should have done for people. So there are things I hope I won't have to think about, rather than things I'm longing to see again.
But not one scene that you'd look forward to reliving?
I don't.
A moment of triumph?
I suppose I'm triumphed in that that I have, as you would say, gone on the stage. I went to the Armandson in Los Angeles, which is the size of a cathedral. And they wired me up for sound, and I spoke to that great sea of faces. And until the invention of Jackie Mason, as far as I know, I'm the only person in the world who ever went on the stage and neither sang nor danced nor acted, but just said what he thought. So in a way you could say that was a minor triumph.
Do you have any plans to do that again?
I think I've said it all now.
But there are many that didn't see you the first time.
Well, yes, I could go to new places, but I've been to a hell of a lot of places. I've been as far west as you say, as Los Angeles, San Diego, Santa Barbara.